What's going on, guys? My name is Matt with Carolina Coops, and welcome to Clarksville, Georgia. I'm way up on a mountaintop right now, and I'm about to show you an absolute stunning and beautiful custom chicken coop made by us, Carolina Coops. Let's get into it. Where it's all gonna start is, what is the size of this beautiful coop? Well, I can tell you right now, I don't remember. So let's fact check, and it is 10 foot by, and this I can figure out because I know our walls are 6 foot, and I have two joining walls right here. So we got 6, 12, 18, 24. So a 10 by 24 footprint. And in the back there, we're gonna have a 10 foot wide hen house by, I'm gonna guess it's 6 foot deep, but let me just prove it. Yeah, actually a little bit over 6 foot. So a 10 foot by 6 foot hen house. And I know the side walls are 4 foot tall, and up at the peak, probably 6 foot. So huge, huge hen house. Now, first things first, well, second thing I wanna tell you guys is what makes this coop so incredibly unique is we actually had all the framing hand sawn for us out of Eastern red cedar. Now, the reason why I wanna really highlight that is because, one, that's what gives this coop such a unique look. It is all true 4x4 timber framing, okay? And we left it rough. We didn't surface it because I wanted to keep that beefier look. Plus, we can still see the circular saw marks are absolutely gorgeous. And the Eastern red cedar starts out really, really red and purple and just beautiful and smells great, but the sun will eventually gray it out and make it patina. Now, what makes this coop really interesting is they came in with a certain type of finish that honestly I can't remember, but it has kind of a glossy feel to it. So I have to believe it was some kind of maybe like a urethane or something like that. I'll have to fact check. But I actually came here, I don't know, maybe about 6 months ago to film exactly what I'm doing right now, but they power washed it, and we noticed they removed a lot of the film on the bottom, so they refinished it, which I couldn't be happier, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. But what also happens is by putting some type of protectant on it, even though it's cedar and it's naturally rot resistant, because they put some type of protectant on it, not only will allow the cedar to last that much longer, but more importantly, look at it keeps that beautiful, in this case, that brown kind of caramel looking look of the cedar. It really protects it from the UV. So if you don't want that gray sun bleached look, this is one of the best ways to prevent it, okay? Now, the other thing too is, depending on the quality of the material you use will depend on how long this lasts. Also, where you are in the world will also depend on how long this lasts. But I have a feeling this finish probably will not have to be redone probably for at least another 10 years. And maybe we'll fast forward in another video and we'll be back here in 10 years. The other thing that makes this coop really, really nice is all the clapboard siding. We decided to leave natural edge, and that was because it's just gonna match the stable that's right over there to my left. So maybe we can bring that in some B-roll. But just beautiful, all done by hand, about 1/2 inch clapboard with that natural edge, which just gives it that very beautiful rustic look. But it's the same species of lumber. That's why we have that color consistency going through the entire outside of the coop here. And then the other thing that's really, really cool about this coop is we actually have a metal roof that's meant to rust. Now, the last time I said there's a metal roof that we use that's meant to rust, and the rust actually helps protect it, you guys freaked out. Well, not all of you, but I get it. How in the world does if a piece of metal rust protect it? That oxidization that takes place is gonna be very fast with bare metal. It's gonna rust very fast, but believe it or not, that rust will slow down the oxidization and actually protect it in a nutshell. And in this case, this roof is meant to last a very, very long time, but we also get to gain that rusty look, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. While we are over here, here is an automatic door. This is a door we like a lot. Over here is one of our standard Dutch doors. What I mean by standard is actually just our standard size and standard function, where the top half, we have our regular slide bolt right here. You can open and close it, and one of the #1 reasons why we love Dutch doors, our customers love Dutch doors, is let's say you can't free range and you want to be able to throw some table scraps in there. You don't want to take a chance of opening up the bottom and them getting out, especially when they get real excited because they know they're about to get a bunch of treats. This will keep them inside, and all you got to do is take that chicken bucket, your chicken bowl, whatever you got your table scraps in, you're gonna feed your chickens, just throw it right into the run. The other thing too is probably my favorite thing about our Dutch doors is when you have the kids over, they're really excited about the chicken coop. First place they're gonna go to is the magical spot. That's the egg hutch. I'm gonna show you here in a minute. Number 2 is they love to come to the Dutch door, and they really want to get inside the run. They want to go be with the chickens. They love to go up that ramp. But if you don't want them in there, this is a great way to open up the top half, and they can stand right here and look in, almost like you're at a zoo. So just kind of really, really cool. So we can just close that slide bolt. We got a hole right here, so we can put a carabiner in there or a padlock, but also we can just open up the entire Dutch door just like that. So here's that magical spot that everybody loves, not just the children. This is the egg hutch. Now this particular coop, yes, they got 2 egg hutches, and this is what we call our 5-gang egg hutch. Just like our standard production egg hutches, we have this wonderful drop-down door. We have the acre inserts, which is actually fantastic. And then you just put your nesting material in there, and then when you go to capture, collect your eggs, you just reach right in here. All the dividers are removable should you want a bigger nest box. And one of the #1 reasons why people like to remove a divider is, let's say you got a hen that's going broody and you need to make a bigger spot for them to incubate the eggs, or maybe you gave them baby chicks, whatever you're doing, but you want mama hen to raise those baby chicks, you can just remove a divider and give them that little nursery so you have room for the baby chicks, but also the little chick feeder and the little chick waterer. Wait for mama to eventually bring those baby chicks down, and then you can transition to the ground level. All right, but again, so freaking sweet. Regular egg hutch, we stay true, whether it's one of our production coops or a custom coop. Drop down door, an absolute must. Why? Because we want to make sure the roof doesn't lift up, because if we got chickens in there, we don't want to scare them. But also, my favorite reason why I like the drop down door, doesn't matter if you're a child or if you're really tall, if you're in a wheelchair, everyone has easy access to get to the eggs. Also, we have a gate latch here, another spot that should you want to, and I highly recommend it, you can add a carabiner or a lock right there. Also, please note the J channel here, very, very shiny. You see the corrugated roofing doing what it's supposed to do, and that is to start to rust. The reason why this is clean and shiny is when I was last year filming, I noticed we didn't incorporate the J channel standard across all the coops back then. So I asked again Ethan to come out and install the J channel. Now the reason for the J channel isn't to act as a gutter. It's kind of works as that, which is really, really nice, but more importantly, I just was always scared to death. Kids are really excited and they come running up and they don't think about what they might hit their head on. I wanted to protect the edge of that roofing. But what also has happened is it turned into actual gutter. Not that we needed it, but it was nice, and the water will just go out the ends. The one downside to like any gutter, you might have to do some maintenance. So it's up to you. You don't have to leave this on, but if you have small children, I kind of highly recommend it, but you can take it off and it's just fine. But it is standard now. So that's why this has not started to rust yet. And I'm surprised I'm not seeing it rust even more, but eventually it will catch up to this roofing material here. One of the things that's absolutely critical is leaving that gap right there so the water can escape. We learned that the hard way. An absolute incredible detail I must point out. I was talking earlier about we have the natural edge siding, right? Look at what our guys do. They make sure we carry that line all the way across from the back of the hen house to the side of the hen house, but it doesn't stop there. They continue it all the way around the egg hutch, even through the door. And if that wasn't already a great detail with regular clapboard, doing it with natural live edge siding, natural live edge clapboard, absolutely incredible. Such a wonderful detail. One thing that's true, no matter if it's a custom coop, production coop, any coop, it doesn't matter. You must have as much ventilation as possible. And one of the things I love about all of our coops is not only do we have tons of ventilation, we have ventilation on all 4 sides. We also have ventilation that exhausts out through the ridge cap. Even if you have a cupola, we still have that nice chimney effect. But 2 things, our windows are so easy to use. Just like that, I can open that up and I'm done, okay? Now, are there adjustments? Yes, but it doesn't really make that big of a difference. Why? Because of how big our hen houses are. Also, I noticed when I opened this up, the steel dowels are hidden right there. They don't need to be there. You can put them there, obviously. There is a little bee hole, we call it, right there so that they don't get lost. So I'm gonna put them back up there. I'll have to let the customer know in case they go looking for them. I'll be like, oh, where are they? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna open up. I'm gonna open this up. I hope they don't mind because it is warm today. It is beautiful, beautiful day. All right, just like that. And then the other thing is, okay, so look how easy that was. Look how beautiful they are. And we got the polycarbonate on the outside. You cannot break that stuff. But also, it's backed up with a 1/2-inch hardware cloth. So they are predator proof. And you can function all of our windows. You can access all the windows and use the windows all from the outside. You do not have to go inside the hen house and open and close them. Now, for one of my favorite parts, again, for all of our coops, is the back of the hen house. One of the reasons why it's one of my favorite parts is because we have designed this style of hen house doors years ago. And I see everyone copying them now. I'm over it. And the reason why everyone copies them, the reason why this design hasn't changed in probably 15, 16 years, is because it's so easy and so perfect and also looks really good. Here's what makes them perfect. Again, everything's on the outside, okay? And I can just open up the doors. Here, let's time it. Let's time it. Let's bring the video up. Ready? 1, 1,000. 2, 1,000. 3, 1,000. 4, 1,000. Maybe I don't need to count because we can just bring the timer up. What was that, 5 seconds? 5 seconds, I have full access to the back of the hen house. Super, super easy. And when it does come time to clean, I just have a slide bolt here, a slide bolt here, and all I gotta do is drop this down and I am done. Super, super easy. So I'm just gonna go ahead and close up the deep litter door. I'm gonna close up the hen house. All of our hen houses, most of them, this is the left door is what we call our stationary door because we have little barrel bolts on the doors. And this one, you open the least, and the one you're gonna open the most, especially if you're just gonna check on the deep litter, check on your chickens, is the door on the right that we call your primary door. Now, the other thing I really love about our hen house doors is actually, I guess you would say 2 doors in one, right? Because these are our hen doors. So I can open this up. Again, can never have enough ventilation. We gotta make sure we can open it up. Super, super easy. I'm gonna pop those in there. Look at that. Now I got airflow coming in. The hen house can breathe in. And if a hen house can breathe in real easily, it can exhaust real easily. That is just, I can't emphasize how important that is because heat is what will kill your chickens, not the cold, okay? All these windows will shut and block the wind chill. That's what your chickens don't want. It's the heat that will absolutely kill them. So as long as this hen house doesn't keep heating up, you're good, you're good. It breathes. It's just that simple, right guys? So let me open up this one. I can tell these haven't been opened up in a while, but my God, isn't this gorgeous? Come on. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. It never gets old. It never gets old. You know, and the one thing I haven't actually mentioned this in a while, now that I think about it, one of the reasons why I love to elevate the hen house, think about this, okay? Always remember, what did chickens do before coops were invented? They went up into the trees, okay? All we did inside this hen house, all right here, is we installed roost bars, tree branches, okay? The chickens instinctively want to go up. So by elevating the hen house causes the roost bars to be up a little bit higher. Chickens like that. Also, my favorite reason why I love elevating the hen house is when it does come time to clean and I gotta drop down this deep litter door, I don't have to bend over. Bring my wheelbarrow up, bucket on your tractor, whatever. Pulling, sweeping motion, pull it right in there. But what happens is this, by elevating the hen house, we have all that space underneath. And we wanna make sure we have a minimum of 24 inches of headroom for the chickens underneath the hen house. So that just was added run space, and you can never have enough run space, especially if you do not free range. So it's just that simple. A mistake I see people make all the time, and that is they lower their hen house, still leave a void. Well, guess where the chickens are gonna go lay their eggs? They're gonna go underneath that void. And if you have it a little too close to the ground, you're inviting rats to come in and burrow underneath your hen house. It's just that simple. Tell you what, while I got that open, let's get some inside B-roll. So here's the inside of the hen house. There's those rope wrap roost bars. Gorgeous. Not only will the rope wrap roost bars help chickens to heal from bumblefoot, it'll prevent bumblefoot. So very important. Here's the other thing too. Notice this roost bar has a little bit of a bow in it. That's okay. One of the nice things you can do, see if I can do it one-handed. You can actually flip your roost bar over and now the bow is up, okay? I know in the world of framing, they may call that crowning, but in the world of woodworking, we don't call that crowning. That's bow, not crook. Either way. And I'll be willing to bet you, I think they are. Let me zoom in. Let me see if I can zoom in over there. See if you can spot, even the roost bars are made of cedar. They don't need to be. And see the underside of the metal roofing, all open, so we don't have condensation. We got the ridge cap ventilated, beautiful. You can see the natural raw cedar on the inside. Oh, you see the egg hutches, gorgeous. Now this is an empty deep litter system, so no chickens yet. They're coming this spring. You know, I love that even the inside of our hen houses are just as beautiful as the outside. This is like probably how a person feels when they pop the hood on their sports car and they're showing off the engine. Wow, I just saw something very interesting. Oh, this is good. I'll explain more on the inside, and maybe a little bit on the outside. But before that, here's your other egg hutch. We already talked about that. Window, blah, blah, blah. I was just looking from a higher elevation, which is where you guys are right now. The roof almost looks copper. It's patining, is that a word? It's oxidizing beautifully. So there's a beautiful shot of this recycled metal. Comes all the way from Colorado. Love those people out there. And very popular on the West Coast. I think we have maybe like 2 or 3 over here on the East Coast. All right, so here's what I was just pointing out too when I circled back. Again, something that made me a little nervous when I was last here, and that is the water system. Now we are, yes, North Georgia, but we are up in the mountains, and I promise you it gets cold. Even when my guys were installing this, it was snowing. And you know, if you get into freezing temperatures, what happens? Water freezes. And it is a pain in the butt having to lug your water out to your chickens in the wintertime. We have a system that solves all that, and that's what this system is right here, which is our rain barrel system with the de-icer, and somewhere the thermostatic switch is around here. I'm not gonna bore you guys with that because I got so many videos out there, but let me explain what happened. When I was last here, I noticed they had what was called a water bar with a pressure regulator. Okay, I guess we don't have a name for it yet, but that made me nervous. So yes, it's nice to have a water bar on the inside, hooked directly up to your water supply line, but I cannot emphasize enough, and I'm gonna show you guys if it's still on. Sure enough it is. It's our lead-free pressure regulator. We gotta bring that pressure down, because if we don't bring it down to, say, 5 PSI, when the chickens go to peck on that nipple, they're just gonna get sprayed in the face with a fire hose. Last thing we want, right? But what concerns me is is that's gonna freeze if they're not very careful. And let's face it, we don't always do things perfectly. We forget, and I don't want people to have the oh crap moment. So I said to them, I said, listen, let's do our basic water system, add the heated bundle pack, and you're good to go. So now actually I thought we replaced that, but we left it, which is fine. And now they have two options. So I'm gonna show you more about that when we get in on the inside. The other thing too, again, J channel, we had to add this to the feeder hopper, and we added our gas struts. I got all kinds of videos out there about the external feeder hopper. No, it doesn't mean you're gonna get mice and rats. No, it doesn't mean it's gonna get full of mold, okay? I'm sorry to disappoint a lot of the people that are the naysayers and think it's so hard to have chickens. It's not. You just gotta understand some fundamental basics. And in this case, the temperature on the inside is for the most part gonna stay the same temperature on the outside. So that's how you prevent the mold, because we're not getting condensation, okay? Also, as long as you don't give reason for the rats and mice to wanna live anywhere, the probability of them coming and feeding on the feed is so low. Is it still possible? Yes, okay? But like I was talking about earlier, because we're not creating a cavity right there underneath the hen house for the rats to have like a ceiling, they don't have to keep building up because they're down burrowing in the ground. They have no reason, they're not gonna live there. If they were living there, yes, you're feeding them. You're feeding the rats more than you're feeding your chickens. So it's just that simple. Keep that in mind. Oh yeah, love the gas struts. Make sure we got them installed correctly, all right? And then yes, we added the J channel, and you can see it all underneath, and this will catch up with the rusting like that metal. Got the live edge siding. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot about this part. Let me bring you guys closer. When we were building this coop, I put out a survey, what are we gonna call this? And you guys voted, and we landed on cockpit. I absolutely love it. And the reason why we're gonna call it cockpit is because this is actually originally designed where they wanted to keep their rooster. Now, that's a whole nother conversation, whether or not you should have roosters or not. I hear it. Just the other night, I'm out at the bar talking to people about backyard chickens and coops, and they're like, well, don't you have to have a rooster? If you don't have a rooster, the hens aren't gonna lay eggs, right? I said, no. If anything, by not having a rooster around your female hens, the egg production is probably gonna increase because their stress is reduced by not having that rooster constantly stressing them out because they're mating like every 10 seconds, especially the poor unicorn. Can you imagine? Anyways, yeah. So, but cockpit, hen house, that's all it is. We got a simple little, what do we got? What do we got here? 3 foot, 4 foot? Let's see, 3.5 feet by, okay, yep, Matt, what's the depth? What's the depth? 3 feet. So roughly a 3 foot by 3 foot cockpit. Okay, let's go one step further. How tall is it? Sidewalls, 48 inches. On the inside, let's see here, 5 foot, just for the rooster. So cockpit, this is where they put the rooster. The other thing too is you can also use this as a quarantine area for your hens, or maybe for whatever reason. It's just really, really nice. But all the fundamentals are the same. We got a functioning window, cross ventilation, deep litter door, route wrap roost bars. I mean, let me take you in there and take a look at it. You're gonna love this. Not to mention too, now we got a lawnmower going. Love it. Okay, so here's the inside, deep litter door. You got the acre for the deep litter system. Look at the ramp. Look at the little ladder. That's just for silkies. Chickens have no problem going out that door, but got to put that there for our silky people. Beautiful rope wrap roost bar, ventilation on all 4 sides. We got a window there, window there, window there, and a window here when this door is closed. Gorgeous. Before I forget, for all my YouTube chicken police, always trying to find something wrong with our coop. Now I know this is on concrete foundation, concrete beam. There's our sill plate. Coop is on the sill plate, but I just promise you, they have a predator apron here. All right, let's go into the run. God, the temperature difference, it's incredible. It's why I love having, no matter what, a roof over the run. You know, that just made me think of something. I'm always talking about the importance of having metal on top of your coops because, one, they're very cost effective, very efficient to install. They do come from recycled materials, at least most of them. But having a roof over your run is a must, no matter if you're using metal or asphalt shingles. I just remembered why we're not gonna collect rainwater off this roof, even though we incorporated a rain barrel, and why we probably have that. You're probably not gonna wanna collect rainwater into a rain barrel if the roof is rusting. Probably not the end of the world. Sorry, that just hit me. So I gotta make sure I tell the customer, they'll top that off. That's what it is. Okay, moving on. Check this out, absolutely gorgeous. Tons of headroom in here. Ventilation, we got the snake guard up there. We got some devices. Oh, we got plugs. All right, I'll have to get some cool B-roll. But check this out. So now here's a great example. You can see the difference between the cedar that has had some type of finish on it versus this has not. They just decided to leave this natural neutral, which is perfectly fine. Even on the outside, it's perfectly fine. We got the live edge carrying all the way through, 2 windows on the front. I'm just gonna go ahead, look, we get some stink bugs. It's springtime, come on, get out of there. Just like that, look how easy. You know, why do we do stainless steel dowels? Because life happens, okay? Yes, there's so many other options, but we have found the stainless steel dowels are the easiest thing for us to do. Never have your window open more than 45 degrees. If you open it up all the way to here, guess what's gonna happen? You're right, the chickens are gonna roost up here, okay? You wanna leave that 45 degrees or less. I promise you, we still have tons of breathing, cross ventilation. So that's why that window opens to there. We can open this up. So even though we have the gate latches on the windows, you don't have to have a carabiner on your window gate latches, because even if a raccoon was to come in there and figure those out and open it up, all of our windows are protected by the 1/2-inch hardware cloth. Don't have to worry about it, just don't want to confuse people. Once in a blue moon, I see people put carabiners on their gate latches and they don't have to. I don't want them to, because I don't want them to work harder than they have to. Little hen house door for the chickens, not an absolute must, but I did flip, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, our lovely Mackenzie Miller, one day in a marketing meeting, she said, on my chicken coop, I love to have the hen house door, because she absolutely under no circumstance could let her chickens out of the run. We can't take any chances. Well, guess what's gonna happen if there's no door here and you go to open up the hen house? If you do it real quick to check on it, add some hemp, no big deal, okay? Yeah, you're gonna get some chickens coming up, and you're gonna get a little curious. That's not a big deal. Say it's time to clean and you're doing all that work, you have the luxury, when you have a door on the front of your hen house, close your chickens into the run. Throw some scraps in there, get them all down there, close this off. Now, when you're in the back of the hen house cleaning it out, you don't have to worry about a chicken escaping. It's that simple, I promise, it's that simple. All right, so let's get into this over here. Now this, here we got the outlets, which is super cool. You can put a camera up there. Look at those trusses. Look at the underside of that roofing. Got another outlet right here, which makes sense, because you're gonna put a camera going down to the ramp. And the one part is, if this can make it into the video, since our hen house and our run is so well ventilated, and yes, we have a metal roof, but it's not insulated on the underside, and I don't want to insulate it on the underside because we don't have to, because the temperature is gonna be roughly the same where we don't have condensation. Could you end up with a little, maybe in the early morning? Sure, but because it breathes, we don't get condensation. When you do put on your storm shields, that could be a little bit different, but the other thing too is what's really, really nice, a little bit of moisture in your run isn't a bad thing, but I can tell you, you would always rather have a solid roof run and have a dry problem than a wet problem. I promise you that. So you may be wondering right now, why do we have 2 water bars? Again, as I was saying earlier, the original idea was to have a pressurized, if you will, water bar, where we got a water line coming from the main water line on the outside through a pressure regulator. Again, we want to get it down to 5-6 PSI so we don't over pressurize these nip pulls, okay? Typically on your well, coming from your city, is gonna be anywhere from 50, 60, 70, 80 PSI. So I've done it to see what would happen, and it's like a fire hose. Maybe we have that shot somewhere. But what I was scared of is that this could freeze. There's no preventing this from freezing other than coming in, shutting off the water, and draining it. And that's just probably not gonna happen. It's easy to forget those things, all right? But fast forward to here, we have a regular water bar system where it's designed to not freeze as long as you don't lose power. So as long as we don't lose power and the generator kicks in, you're gonna be good to go up here. Especially in North Georgia, it doesn't get so cold so long that it's really taxing on the system. But just a reminder, our system is designed down to -20 degrees Fahrenheit with 300 gallons of water. So I'm gonna go over with the customer again to make sure they completely understand all this, because I know it get a little confusing. And the 2 things that we wanna make sure are super, super easy is the water and the feed. So I was showing you guys the feeder hopper on the outside. I wanna say this one, you think I remember by now, we're just gonna say 100 pounds. And we have the feeder ports here so the chickens can just stick their head in there and get the feed. And what I love about these feeder ports is we reduce what's called drag back, so it stays nice and clean. The one thing when using this system, I prefer pellets over crumbles. Also, one thing I've learned, if you're feeding your chickens that really, really expensive whole grain, you got nuts and berries and chocolate, who knows what you got in the feed, right? It's really, really nice. You can almost eat, probably could eat it as a human. Chickens get picky, and when you use that type of high-end feed with all the variety of corn and seeds or whatever, they'll pick through and eat just what they want. So guess what they will do? They will pick this out no matter what and leave a mess here. So I love the pellets because everything they need is in there. They're gonna eat it no matter what, and it stays spotless right here. That's a good thing, I promise you. Look at live edge siding even on the front of the feeder hopper. Absolutely gorgeous. Hopefully you made it this far, and if you did, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this video. As always, listen, questions, comments, leave them down below. We always love to hear from you, no matter who, especially our YouTube chicken police. And don't forget, do us a huge favor. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe to our channel. And also Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, go follow, go subscribe. We can't thank you enough. But more importantly, still my absolute favorite, you can always give us a call if you're interested in one of our coops or any of our accessories, all of our hemp bedding, to the DIY things that we sell. Even if you're designing your own chicken coop, we have a solution for you, I promise. We'll see you next time. Later.